What's up, everyone? Welcome on back to the Spit It Out podcast, the podcast of what you've been thinking but haven't actually been hearing. We have another fun, exciting episode for you guys this week. Can't wait to just get into it, and that's exactly what we're going to go ahead and do for you guys. So I hope everyone's doing well during this quarantine still and hanging in there, but hopefully this episode is going to get you on by. So please, just a little warning, a little disclaimer that I want to put out there. First of all, you might want to grab some tissues, empty out your bladder, because the guest that we have for you guys today is quite the hilarious man, comedic himself. Oh my goodness, let's just get right into this now. He's performed probably all over New England, definitely all over the New York Comedy Club circuit. He's also across the country. You might have seen him many different places, just to name a few. The LOL New York Comedy Club, Yonkers Comedy Club, Gotham, Boston Comedy Club, Comic Strip Live, also Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun. The list can just continue on and keep on going. I'd like to introduce for you guys today, though, please give him a round of applause, Kenny Ortega, a.k.a. Comedy Ken. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you coming on by and stopping for this podcast, the Spit It Out podcast. You are our first, I want to say, maybe comedian that we've had on here. So I'm sure people are going to be excited about that. We've had a mix of a couple of different guests or so, but you might be the first comedian that we have. And I want people to get familiar with your material, who you are, find out exactly what Comedy Ken brings to the table. But before we get into that, I want to know, you go by Comedy Ken, obviously. Now, Kenny Ortega is the name, what some people might know you as, too. Have you ever got mixed up with the other Kenny Ortega that directs the High School Musical movies?
I'm gonna kick it off, right? Yes, I have. They actually have called my house. This was when he was auditioning for some type of movie, and he was in Miami at the time, so they would call my house here in New York where I'm at, and so I would send them to Coconut Grove. For the audition. I was like, the audition is being held, over there in Coconut Grove. Just ask me, they'll let you in. Like, I got to the point where I just got tired of going, that's not me.
Let me just play along with it. I just send them over to
Coconut Grove. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
That is hilarious. So if you guys don't know, the director and also of High School Musical show has the same exact name. And I was like, it had to come about at some point. But like you said, wow, for you to play into it, though, that's hilarious.
Yeah, you have to. It's like, what were you going to do? Take a bad call and turn it into, something good for me.
Exactly.
I don't know about that when they showed up, but it's good for me.
That is hilarious. Now, I've seen you perform comics. This was actually before Comics Roadhouse and Mohegan Sun. It was just comics at the point back in like 2017, quite a few years ago and such. Okay. Yeah, hilarious though, and we're gonna get into some of that now. Obviously, we all know everyone's quarantined. You did notice New York, so that's where you're quarantining at, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay, in New York, and how's that going? How is the whole thing? How are you keeping up with it? First off,
well, as a comedian, obviously we on super lockdown. We can't do, like, even if we go back to work, it's still gonna be another month, 2 months before we even get to be on stage because people are gonna be a little wary of going into a closed room. So we've been doing the whole Zoom thing. I was a little skeptical about it, because I'm like, this is not gonna work. But then, because everybody was doing where you see everybody's face, and I'm like, and everybody's just talking over everybody. Now doing podcasts and stuff, you need to control who talks at what time, because even though, let's say you start talking, I talk over you right now, right? It's gonna seem cool because we're looking at each other. But to other people, it sounds like there's a fight going on next door. Like,
exactly.
It doesn't sound good. You know what I mean? So even though we can see each other because we're talking, but when you hear it, it sounds horrible. So I was a little skeptical about it. But then I did a show for the people that run comics, and the way they did it felt like stand up again.
Okay.
Not exactly, but like stand up. So I was like, wait a minute, I could do this myself. And I did. I did my first show on Saturday. It went great. Unfortunately, we didn't have like a big turnout because the whole graduation show and Obama was on
Okay, yeah.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened. But we had a good turnout. Everybody that was on the show had people from California that have seen me, Connecticut, Miami. They was from Miami. And one guy from Miami actually drove up to New York to see me. After he seen me before, so that was cool.
Okay.
So I had people from everywhere, Michigan and stuff like that, that have seen me before, either in New York on vacation or or I've been to their state or wherever, but they've seen me before. So it was kind of cool, like the love that they were showing, and me providing the some at least comic relief was pretty cool.
Especially at this time too, while everything you hear on the news, everything's sad every single day. It's tragic. It's horrible what's going on. So everyone needs, like they say, the laughter is the best medicine. I believe in that. I think everyone needs to laugh, enjoy themselves. And my favorite genre of movies and such is always comedy. That's what I enjoy. So I think this is your guys' time to shine even more than you normally do and put people in an uplifting mood and just make it a better atmosphere and environment for everyone too to enjoy while we're stuck in our house and that. So you putting on these shows is something where people at least still get that type of entertainment, still get to laugh. They're hanging out with their family at home. So that's great to hear. It is, like you said, a work in progress still, the Zoom. I'm still, my guests that I would have come on before would be usually in studio. Now, of course, with everything happening, I've switched over to the Zoom. So it is a work in progress trying to figure things out still. Like you said, that's the one thing I've listened to previous podcasts or just other videos people put on, and the talking over thing is something I'm like, okay, come on, guys, let's get it together. So I'm trying to do my best also to get that, because between people's internet connections and other stuff, it is like, the last thing you want to hear is people talking on top of each other where you can't understand what the hell's going on. So definitely that's working on comedy.
Right. Here's the good thing about comedy. I can mute their microphone. Yeah.
Definitely.
So I can kill the heckler without even having to go into it. You're like, what I mean? Like, oh, I'm like, okay, mute.
Definitely. So what you doing the comedy with, like, so your viewers were actually showing their faces too on video? Is that how you were doing it?
Yes. Basically, you have them in the bottom. You have you set it up where you can see them at the bottom. And what we do, we let them know ahead of time. Listen, don't take it personal if your microphone gets muted, because sometimes, like here myself, I got 2 dogs, so sometimes if someone knocks on my door, and one of them is a Chihuahua, so that's like a fire alarm going on. So
funny that you say that. I have one right here. This one does not make a sound. He does not make a sound.
Yeah, he must be mixed with something, because the one behind me is not making a sound now. But as soon as you get someone out the door, it gets crazy. But you know what I mean. So you can mute that person, so you won't hear the dump, but they'll still hear you. You know how it is. And like right now, like I'm talking to you, and they say we'll say something funny, and I see you laughing. That kind of makes it more normal in this sense, because I'm looking at you, I see you laughing. It's not like I'm just talking into and I don't see anyone. That's kind of
talking
weird.
to a wall, basically. Yeah, if you can't even see the audience and how they're reacting.
I'm good at that.
But it's good to see the reaction of the audience to see, okay, this joke ain't really hitting too well. Let me move on to the next or something. So that's also good to see. Yeah, that's true. I'm glad that's working along, though. I did see. Oh, go ahead.
No, the hardest part is like, because I do a part of my routine is kind of like talking to people. So one of my friends was like, I don't know how you're going to do that. And I was like, no problem. So I just looked at the box and said, hey, how you doing? Where you get that sweat? You know what I mean? I just kept going. I just kept scrolling. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hey, how about you? So it was real cool. You know what I mean? It was dope. You got to make it what it is,
The interaction's good as well. Now they're feeling like they're a part of your show, something that you're putting on. Right. So that's good. Yeah. Last thing you don't want, you sit there and then you don't even, they don't realize you. When you're at an actual comedy show, you like to involve the crowd and the audience and get things going. That's always nice as well. So at least you're able to do, somewhat sort of the same exact thing, the feeling virtually these days. But I know exactly what you're saying, though. Going back, once this is done and over with, I'm sure it's going to be a little harder, especially in your career like that, where people, like you said, aren't going to feel comfortable to go back. Also, that is like your job is to make a room full of a crowd laugh And at this point, there's no crowd. Like, you can't have crowds. So that's a big part of it too. And I'm sure there's going to be some creative ways and innovative ways where they try to, get the people together and still put on a comedy show. But it probably ain't going to be the same as it was a few months back.
Well, someone here in New York already tried a drive-in comedy show at a diner, and that, like if I didn't like your joke, I'm just gonna honk the horn like whack you whack.
Yeah, right.
Like, how you gonna escort them out? Turn your car on, sir. You know what I mean? Like that, you can't.
Tow truck, pull the tow truck in.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah. But we, in Connecticut right now, they are starting like late May. They're gonna start doing outdoor shows.
Okay.
So where you social distance the audience, and then there's enough space, so it's an outdoor event. So it's pretty cool. So that's gonna bring some normality back to it, So
yeah.
The only thing is, I just hope that comedians don't talk about the actual coronavirus.
Okay.
And you could talk about how you spend your quarantine time, which there's a lot of material in that, but to actually, because everyone knows someone or has been affected by it personally,
exactly,
that's gone through it. It's not like my sister's gay, and I told her, I was like, listen, I'm still gonna talk about gay stuff, because not everybody's gay, so not everybody's gonna get offended. But this is something that is affecting.
Well, if you have any today, bring them on, because I'm gay myself, so I want to hear whatever you got under your belt with that one. No, but definitely, I understand that as well.
I always say I can't be gay myself. You know what I mean? I always say I can't be gay myself because I took a shit the other day and it hurt. It hurt so bad I had to turn around and see what the hell hurt me.
In one way, yeah. That's hilarious. So, as you mentioned, though, people going back into it and such like that. How does it feel so far, though, with putting on these shows? Are you feeling like at least I'm, putting on a show, doing something? What else are you doing during this time, or is it, you're looking forward to put on these shows?
Well, you writing, you have time to write.
Okay.
Promotion is the least of your issues because again, you have all day to promote. Nothing's in the way of that. But I do smoke cigars myself, so I tend to take a little break and just kind of relax and just chill and be like, and then I go back to it. But just writing, just writing. The tough thing about writing is that you can't I can't write a joke and then go on stage and try it.
Try it out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you pretty much be like, "Hey, taste this."
True.
And if it's not good, then that's it.
Yeah.
It's not good. You can't really work on the whole, But like I said, man, just the fact that I can see you and I can hear you brings a little bit of normality to it. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's tough. It's tough. Comedians are calling each other. The one thing I could tell you that now, no one really texts anymore. Everyone does FaceTime or video is like the thing now. Because, and the wellness checks, hopefully we become better people.
Exactly. And hopefully out of this, positive things do come about it. So you are working on new material, obviously, then. You have all this time working on new material, got some stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know if it works. Yeah.
Don't know if it works. Yeah, you haven't tried it out. You can't.
I don't know if it works yet.
That's understandable. You haven't had the chance to try it out. That makes sense. I wanted to know, what made you actually, though, even get into the start of comedy to begin with? Because I went through your Instagram and such, seen that you were doing tattoos at one point. What else? What was some other job? You still do them? Okay. What were some other things, though, that before you really got into comedy, like what was you doing?
Well, like everybody, I worked at the Gap for a long time.
Okay.
I worked at for loss prevention. I caught shoplifters and in-house. I caught the employee stealing.
Oh, damn.
But from that point, I was doing comedy for a little while like that, like after work or whatever. But then in 2003, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this full time. So left the job and decided to do comedy full time. But the reason why I decided to do it full time is because when I first started doing this, because we went to this place called Caliente Cab in the city here in New York, and they had like an open mic comedy night. Okay. Now, at that time, I had like 15 friends, and we went there to drink. We didn't care about the show. It's you're one of those pop-ups, like you go to eat, and all of a sudden, like, hey, shut up at the bar. I'm here to drink. I'm not here for you. They didn't promote this. So that's how we felt, you know. And
Okay.
I became a heckler, pretty much.
Oh,
And
you started off that way.
yeah, the guy did the most. The one thing you never do as a comedian, he offered the microphone.
Oh,
You think you funny? You come up here. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I was funny or not, but I had 15 friends that everything I said they laughed at. So we overpowered the room. So then everybody was laughing. You know, I was doing personal
he
stuff.
gave you the opportunity, though. That was his fault, like you said. Don't give up the mic. You're the comedian. You're the one put on the show. Don't do that. Wrong move.
So,
yeah.
You know, so it felt good. And then about probably like a month later, you know, my man was like, "Yo, you should do this, man. That was fun. You should do that." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." But then I went to a comedy club like a few blocks away from where I live, and I asked, you know, I inquired about how to be, you know, a comedian, and they told me, bring your shows. Bring your show this way. You bring like 5 people to perform for free, you know, so they get the 2 drink minimum and the money, but you just bring the people. And I knocked it out. But I was bringing like 10, you know, 12, 15 people.
Oh.
So I always was funny until the one time they said, "Hey, you've been bringing enough people. You don't have to bring nobody no more." You know what I mean? You don't have to bring nobody no more.
Yeah.
That was Siri answering me on the other side.
I thought so. A familiar voice.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to bring nobody. So I was like, cool. I'm a professional. You know what I mean? And my best friend showed up with a girl, you know, and he's like, "Yo, come see my man. He's mad funny, blah, 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 whatever." So I go on stage and there's this dude, the way they sat the room was weird. They had everybody to the left side and there was like this one dude on the right side. And I said this joke and he was like, "That's not funny." And I was like, "I'll punch you in the face." Yeah. I was like, "I'll punch you in the face." Like, and the host like, no, okay, give it up for Kenny Ortega.
Your time is done.
Yeah. I was like, I got upset. I was like, "I'll punch you in the face." Like now it's like that doesn't happen anymore. You know, obviously with the time you kind of play around it. You know, sometimes the heckler wants to be heard. So you give him the time and then you kind of take what he says and kind of like work it where he still doesn't understand something funny's happening, and now the audience is on your side, or you know. But that's how I got started, you know. And I went back like about 2 months later, and kind of regrouped, and I'm talking to you now.
Hey, so I want to know though, the first night that you said that the comedian hands you the mic, how did you do that night? Did you do better than the one that was supposed to be performing?
Right, because I was just snapping. I was doing personal jokes that me and my boys used to do. That's what I'm saying. Like you know, like if I talk to you, if I go, "Yo, Fred went to the store and he fell." That's not funny to you because you don't know who Fred is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I go, "Hey, I got a friend named Fred who always drinks, always does the shoot." So he was, you know what I mean? I got to describe him before I tell the joke to you. But with my friends, I go be like, "Yo, Fred, crazy," and they already know Fred. They know who Fred is, so they're gonna laugh at that. You're gonna look at me like, "Who the fuck's Fred?"
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't like work. So you gotta try to like not make too many jokes personal. And if you are, you have to explain to the people. You know, so
give them a little backstory as to what before you get so deeply involved. Yeah. All right, guys, you heard it here. We have a lot more to go into. First 20 minutes, of course, youtube.com/Jayson Yessir. You can go ahead and view this. The rest is audio only. But we're going to get into more. We're going to go to commercial really quickly. We have the one, the only Comedy Ken in the build. Well, see, I keep saying in the building. You're not even in the building. It's virtually, okay. We have him here. But we're going to get into some funny things. I already know it. I can feel it. This is going to be a great episode you guys don't want to miss. So just stick around. We're going to commercial, and we'll be right back.